Hey, what's up everyone, it's Arno here, and today I'm going to show you how to play Aurora on the mid lane. This guide can apply on the top lane as well, and we're gonna use the best build and rules in my opinion. Just keep in mind that Aurora is very versatile and many items work on her. And alternative to Electrocute is Arcane Comet, which especially works on the top lane. The standard build would be Road of Ages and things like that with Liandris, but we're gonna play differently. If there are tanks, you can go for like Fire Torch, but we're actually going for Ludens, being heavily focused on the poke. So let's get to her skill explanation. I'm gonna start with Q, which we wanna take first every time. So you have to apply it, but the range is small and it's not fast enough, so you have to be careful with that. You can also in between and Q, and you have Electrocute proc. That's why I like Electrocute more than anything else. So first you apply the Q, and then you have some time to recast that, dealing damage to marked target by the first Q again. And there's a synergy with your passive. The way your passive works is if you damage an enemy 3 times combined with abilities and auto attacks, it causes your enemy to take max health magic damage, and it heals you, grants you speed. And by the way, look, that's the most important combo. I'm gonna explain it. First you wanna apply Q, then you wanna auto, then you E, because that's the only time when you can still reach. And at the end of it, when you're out of range with other abilities, you pretty much press this, and also, and that way she's dead. See? But it's very important to play with Ignite to succeed. You might have the urge to play Barrier because on paper she has to enter close range to be effective. But for example, she has this W. Oh, this is a dash. You can dash through walls. It makes you invisible for 1 second. And if you get a takedown, then the cooldown of it is refreshed. Takedown means kill or an assist. And as you could see with the E before, it causes you to dash backwards, but it slows the enemy by 80%, dealing good amount of damage. So that's the most important combo to remember. And also, many people would think at the start that Nashor's Tooth is a great option for Aurora, and sure, it helps, but it's the same as if you would play Nashor's Tooth on Twisted Fate. It's not necessary, especially because you can trigger your passive with abilities as well. For example, I applied the Q and it triggered on minions. And look, if the enemy is a champion, it frees a spirit that follows Aurora for 4 seconds, healing her for 8. 8 doesn't seem like much, but it's like stacking for each, and it can be a nice source of healing, also granting you movement speed. And then you get movement speed from the passive. For each additional spirit you gain even more movement speed, increased by 5%. As you can see, I'm not rushing with my Q, and now we could actually notice that the range of V is not amazing. This is why you have to apply that right after first Q, and if you can do basic attack. Now there's an ult. The ult is the most tricky part about Aurora. Well, thanks to ult you can play Aurora like an assassin. So she kind of traps the enemy One more thing, as you can see, when that Q returns, even if you didn't apply Q on something, just the returning effect also deals damage to targets, just like Zaya's E on return. But speaking of ultimate, you leap in a direction and upon landing you converge a realm, sending out energy, yeah, you deal magic damage, and you slow enemies by 30%. I'm gonna show that later because first you wanna walk enough with QE for this to be effective. Now let's roam, because I can definitely do something, and that's a great opportunity to use my ultimate. Because look, and is that, and I've got the reset, and I've got the reset again. Oh, actually interrupted, but it's still okay. So, enemies attempting to enter or leave the area of your ult are slowed by 75% for 1.5 seconds, and they are being pushed back to the center. There's one more thing about ult which I wasn't able to show you right now, where you can actually rebound from walls onto the other side of your ult area. Now of course you can use W to avoid abilities. And as you can see, she's mana hungry. I could even recommend playing with tier just for the shield, but it's not that necessary. I'm actually not gonna include that because I have mana flow banned. Oh, I don't have mana for E. Okay, it's fine. So if you want, you can play Nashor's too, but we're not gonna play that this game. And I'm gonna show you that it's still working quite well. That Aurora can do really well without the item. Now we can jump, just reach the lane a bit faster, of course. Oh, one more thing about your ultimate. Or two. So the area stays active for 3 seconds, where you can press your ult again to just end ultimate earlier. And it's actually important because when chasing, you can accidentally remount yourself from the wall and appear on the other side. And there's an Aurora because I'm doing this guide pre-release, but it's gonna be released soon.
I'll review this later.
Well, my allies didn't really follow up. I can actually still do that and see. He's ignited. Oh, didn't get hit by Nami, but there was Kaisa. Oh, if only that landed. Still got her with E, so you can imagine if I had more burst, I would actually kill her, so I'm really encouraging you to try the poke build and not just Rod of Ages. I'd say she's lacking damage like that sometimes, or of course her survivability increases. I could probably kill Ahri, but it's not worth risking like this. And maybe in most games, since usually there is a tank, taking Blackfire Torch will be better, and you can then combine with Liandry's. So I'd say it depends on the game. And when people will play Aurora more, they might come up to some other idea about the build, but this definitely works. And if you play like this, knowing the basics of this champion, I'm pretty sure you can do quite well. I recommend saving W till you really need your invisibility effect, or if you wanna reach with your ultimate for the area. Might not have to use ult for Ezreal. See? Yeah, I've got my W again. And we can wait for multiple enemies to gather, but this time Ari interrupted. Though we could ult while diving. And I'm gonna show you an example. Whoops. I actually died. I'm gonna tell you what went wrong. So I ulted in an unusual place, and I was so sure about just encountering the wall from the ult. And then I realized it was actually just the middle of my ultimate and I couldn't reach. And that way I couldn't appear on the other side. So this happened to me for the first time. Quite unfortunate. I'm sure I'll be able to show you during this game. Because if you do it fast enough, you can just appear on one side and then quickly W to the other.
The spirits here are different from the ones in the Freljord.
Or you can only dash twice like this if you combine it with your W. But maybe this is a good example for your games, because as you can see, not every time your ultimate will form perfectly. Okay, let me show you this now. So look, I do this and I can do this, see? And that's just outplaying an enemy most of the times. That's what I wanted to show you on bot lane. So yeah, sorry for that, it happens. Next we get in Magic Pen Boots. Hey, I'm actually surprised Tiona is so fat. But as you can see, you have to be careful because she doesn't have great range. Though she has the tools to survive, and you can also play with an hourglass later. But the core items for burst would be Ludens into Shadow Flame, and they have vision. I still would like to try. Still I can try, especially with Nami. Well, Aurora is actually dead. So I used my W for max duration to increase chances of surviving. Whoops. My plan was to kill Yorick faster with Q. And then I would just use W to become invisible again and escape. But this shows if you're going with burst build, you have to be clinical. Because you have less HP compared to Rod of Ages. So of course it depends on the game, like if you play against Fedion or Assassins, then taking Rod of Ages would be better. But still I can do a lot.
Hester, my friend, I'll do all I can.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Don't touch me.
So I just need Shadow Flame now. I really do a lot. And you can just press your ult earlier to end it. The cooldown is not so high. Oyona will try to just go in at me. See, I damaged him with Q. despite the fact he didn't get hit by the first.
You're angering the spirits.
An ally has been slain.
And it's very important to have your ult for team fights, so don't try crazy stuff without it,
Weaknesses
obviously.
also be strengths.
She's decent for speed pushing. But great for team fights.
Fascinating.
And as long as you don't go in first, you're fine without Road of Ages, really. You just need to wait. And for example now, yeah, see?
Peace, Yone.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I like when it's quiet. I can hear myself.
Okay, let's back.
I want to
But I have a feeling that Road of Ages is gonna be the most popular choice.
Yet.
But the most important thing is to hit your Q, just like Nafiri.
I should write home, so my family knows I'm still alive.
Okay, once again they're grouping.
Spirits here are different from the ones in the party.
Oh, nice catch, kill that.
Anyone be afraid of this? Horrible.
I'm gonna ult. See, I've got some health back from the passive.
Would anyone notice if I just left?
Yeah, let's do Baron. Right after you go in vote, just make sure to apply your QE combo. You don't have to attempt flashy things every time. And to balance the lack of Road of Ages, we can go for an Hourglass now. But these two items provide much more burst.
So few see the world as
I'd rather have it than just having Road of Ages like this. I would probably take it if I was at top lane Aurora. But she's great for top, her poke is insane.
Oh, I've read about this.
An enemy has been slain.
So now let's do some split pushing.
Double kill.
Auntie Poppy would like to hear. She loves drama. I'll do all I can to
And I have done videos on every single lane of Aurora. I tried her bot lane, jungle, mid and top,
Has destroyed a turret.
so you can check that out if you want.
Rampage. Shut down.
See the burst? I still have ult. Can try something soon. I don't know if Ari has her ult. Cosmic Drive is also good for Aurora. Alright, so thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this and that you learned something about Aurora on how to play her in terms of basics. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and subscribe, and you can let me know what do you think. You can also check out my stream and my other channel in the description, as well as my other Aurora videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time.